A drum roll.
Yeah.
All right.
Immaculate.
Yes. Woohoo! Yes. Yeah. Immaculate.
Babies.
The rock's in the ring, no ifs, ands, or maybes. Come on, mama, we got no choice but to start making rock babies.
If you want to see some more screams, you'll have to check out my new movie, Immaculate, coming to theaters on March 22nd.
Another date movie with Andy Lewin. The perfect date movie. First date movie, especially.
Yeah.
So, welcome back, Andy.
Thank you, Stephen. Always good to be here.
This is Frame by Frame.
It
You know it.
certainly is.
You know it by name. You know it by nature.
Yep. You know it by smell.
Yeah. What
All
does
the
our
senses.
podcast smell like?
Broccoli and bacon.
Yay! Just like Deborah Winger's fingers.
Yay.
Nobody knows what we're talking about. And
That
that's
was about as niche as the joke's ever going to get, isn't it?
You talking to me?
Did you have a brain tumor for breakfast?
Well, then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like a clown. You.
I'm Peter Venkman. We all go a little mad sometimes.
Man that doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
Yeah.
I'm kind of a big deal.
First rule of Fight Club is do not talk about Fight Club.
Yeah, baby.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
oh great. So how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. One of those weeks, but all good. All good. Happy
Just
to be podcasting.
Holding on, exactly. And guess what, Andy?
What?
The clock is running.
TikTok.
Whoa! Oh, I go. Whoa! This is actually we've gone from fire to tsunami. Oh! Help! 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 Oh. Okay, so we'll insert the sound effects later. Don't you worry, Andy. It'll be amazing.
Yeah, it'll have to be Twister, wouldn't it?
It'll have to be.
That's a cow.
Cow.
That's a cow. Oh, of course.
We got cows. Another cow.
Actually, I think that was the same one.
Yeah, that's not a tsunami though. So.
No, it's not though, is it? At all?
No, but that'll be Twisters. Twisters 2 is coming soon.
Yeah.
How excited are you?
I'm actually. I'll watch it. And then no doubt we'll talk about it.
We might. Yeah, and it's weird, isn't it? It's like after I watched Twister, the first thought I thought is I can't wait for them to make a sequel to this.
Yeah, I hope it's in like decades.
Yeah, in a few decades when we'll wait until enough people in the movie have died. Because you've got Philip Seymour Hoffman and Bill Paxton.
Yeah, bless him.
And Helen Hunt is doing okay. Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, I think we watched a horror film with her in it the other day, and yeah, she's had quite a lot of work done, bless her. Which is totally allowed to do, no judging.
Was this horror film by any chance the one where she has froggers?
Froggers?
Yeah, people who squat illegally.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
yep.
That's it.
Well, do you know, we could even talk about that if we have time. Because
okay.
I watched that movie as well, and it's actually one of the horror films I talk about in, well, I say horror films I talk about in, no, I was going to talk about it in Instance, but I took it out because I couldn't justify it as being a horror film.
Right, yeah.
But I love the concept of so many things in that. But it really didn't know what it was, that film.
No, it really didn't. But it's based on it's a thing, isn't it? I think,
it is.
I read about a family in Japan that they thought the house was haunted, and it turns out there was just something squatting in the attic.
I know, but wouldn't that have been such a more interesting focus instead of having the extra padding around that film. Maybe, but maybe we'll if we get time, we'll probably talk about that. That's ICU, isn't it?
Yeah, ICU. That's it.
ICU, or otherwise known as intensive care unit.
Ah, there it is. Got that before I did. God damn it!
Did you? Is that where you were going?
I was just about to say it.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll do another cut where you say it. I said that film was ICU, right?
Yeah, that's what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do it. You've already done it.
Yeah, I was going to edit mine out and let you have it.
No, you take it.
Throw it to you. Anyway, but we're not here for ICU.
No, we're not.
We're here for do you know what? I can't think of the name for birth. The place where you antenatal clinic. Antenatal. Prenatal clinic.
Prenatal, antenatal. It's like take them away from here.
Well, it kind of becomes that, doesn't it? It does become. It's prenatal, natal, antenatal, and she probably had a little bit of postpartum. But
yep.
So yeah, we're talking about
Immaculate.
I know God saved me for a reason, but I guess I'm still searching for what that reason is. Too much blood of Christ.
It's a miracle. You are with child.
Out of all the women in the world, why did he choose me?
How can we trust what's inside you?
Suffering. Is love. Suffering.
Suffering, succotash.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Andy. I mean, this is
a film.
This is a film that happened, and it's directed by Michael Mulhan, who is well known for doing romantic comedies and children's series episodes. So he has also made an erotic thriller with Sydney Sweeney, who
it's called The Voyeurs, isn't it?
The Voyeurs, which is a straight up erotic thriller, and of course he enjoyed working with Sydney Sweeney.
And why wouldn't you?
And then they decided, you know what, you need to get banged up by God, or maybe not.
Well, she came across the script for this film quite a while ago, didn't she?
She did.
Yeah, she did. She was been the driving force behind getting this film made.
Great. Okay.
Yeah,
so
and
that's...
I think it was a long time ago. Before I think she's in a series as well, and she couldn't quite get it made at the time. And then when she started her own production company, she pushed to get this made, and I think she was actually the driving force behind getting this film made.
Oh well, you know what? That's kind of given this film a little bit more credit, I think. Then, so
I think she had to change the script. Yeah, I think she had to change the script slightly because obviously, I'm not sure if she changed it to her going to Italy or something like that. But she had to change the script to adapt to her being a little bit older now than when she first read. Came across the script.
Yeah.
What did you make of it then? You know, for just initial before we get into it, initial
thoughts. It's
because Stephen's got things to say about this film. He told me before we press record.
It's kind of the old thing where, you know, why do you go in to watch this movie? I mean, you know, what is the wrapping? What is the decorative bow that's pulling you to you want to just pull off to open up? And I think
the title instantly is quite catchy, isn't it? Immaculate. So you think, right, Immaculate Conception.
Yeah, you know what it's going for, and you know, and in a way, it's basically in my opinion, it's a very well shot film. It's got a lot of visuals in there that were quite startling, and a lot of interesting side characters. And I love that there's I don't know why, but when I saw the nun smoking at the window, I thought, yes, nailed it.
Yeah.
Excuse the pun. It's a triple entendre. But yeah, she's smoking. They didn't do any of the vaping thing. Thank goodness. I'm glad that's not coming into movies, because I think smoking is so much more cool in movies. Very sorry to say, but it kind of does.
Yeah, I think David Lynch would agree with you.
It's a weird thing. But I can say, I mean, if you hadn't actually suggested to watch this, I would never have watched it on face value. And that's the thing, because I kind of looked at it and I thought, I know what this film is going to be.
Yeah.
I know where it's going to go. But I kind of was hoping that it would actually give me a different way in. A way in that would allow me to kind of not only sympathize with the girl, to actually say, okay, I can understand why she wants to be here. It's like Midsummer. You know that when they're actually going to this thing, if you didn't know what the movie was about and you were with them on the ride, you'd think, wow, this looks so much fun. This looks great. It's social. It's nice. And I can understand why they've been pulled here. I want to be there too. And all of a sudden, oh no, why? I take it back. I don't want to be here. But this film never once actually makes me feel as though I want to be alongside her on this journey. From the very moment that she kind of gets questioned in that outfit by the two soldiers, they don't. It's kind of like, yeah, you're doing this, okay. So I kind of felt.
That's one thing I don't understand. Why it's been again. We talk a lot about tropes, don't we?
We do.
And that's another trope of a new person going to a place and the people not liking the new person and just being mean. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it is odd. Nobody welcomed her really, and it kind of and straight off the bat, from every person that she met, apart from the smoking girl,
and handsome priest,
yeah,
it's sort of like, hey, baby, I'm a handsome Italian priest,
and don't you worry, I will take care of you. I mean, he was kind, and that's great, but the whole dressing of it, I didn't want to open this gift. Because and that kind of made me feel unsympathetic, because I thought, well, I don't really know why she needs to be there. I mean, of all the different things, but the thing is, it's also the idea of the religious angle and having to put all those tropes in, every single one, as dressing it for being a sinister. That straight away everybody's got an agenda. Everybody's kind of like walking around holes in dark holes, trying to be creepy, and there's no kind of like idea of why this would be a positive thing, a positive place. And of course there is no. It's like Wicker Man. I'd love to go to that island. To go to that island. From the outset, it's like, wow. If you didn't know what was coming, you'd be like, hey, this is great.
Yeah.
Look at all those people dancing around the graves. I mean, this is
look at Britt Eklund naked. Awesome.
I know, and it's like you'd think, wow, this is there's a pull, there's a kind of like but you need to have that tearing, that torn, like, I kind of thought that they were this and that, and knowing that you're going into a horror film, and for it to just kind of basically take you on. Just a haunted house ride, basically.
Yeah, if you talk about the start of it, that's what I mean. I think the start felt to me was a studio idea. It's like, now come on, guys, big cigar. You got to have a scare at the beginning. You got to film them. It's got a scare. So they scream it at the beginning, don't they?
Yeah, so they know.
They're going to scream.
Yes,
you got to let you know. And this poor girl, and that's actually a well shot sequence where you feel that girl trying to get out, and she's getting the keys out the drawer, she's making a bit of a noise, and then she's running out, and you can see these people just walking towards her, and she's trying to open it. She gets out to grab a leg, and then they break a leg, and you think, but the next thing you see really is Sydney Sweeney's character, forgetting is it Sister Cecilia? Is that her name in this? And she goes through the very gate that you just saw the that poor woman have her leg broke through.
So it's not holding back.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. But if it didn't have that beginning bit, and she just turned up.
Yeah. But they love the idea. We want her to be buried alive. I mean, and it's like, well, that's...
Yeah, buried alive? Where did that come from?
I mean, having her buried alive at the very beginning basically told you that and they're still pinning the religious aspect heavily onto this as that being a part of their motivation. And, far be it for me to kind of to defend religion in that kind of aspect, but religious movies are always about the hidden agenda and the dark side, and and that's why afterwards I kind of thought, wouldn't it be amazing if this was actually Whoopi Goldberg escaping from these Las Vegas pimps and hoodlums and nasties, and then running into this place, just basically play out Sister Act, but then have them take it to the Immaculate. Start out a Sister Act, even get a few musical numbers in there, and then kind of like do that whole From Dusk Till Dawn thing, and then just kind of slowly kind of pull her in.
Yeah, and then pull the rug.
Pull the rug. Exactly. Yeah. But there's no path to safety. There's no salvage. You want her to have some sort of a place where she's gonna do fine here. And you want to feel like that you're the parent letting that child go into primary school for the first time, going, yeah, they're going to be fine. And you kind of get tricked. I love it if we actually get challenged and tricked and forced to kind of reckon with the thoughts. But there was not one trope in this movie that told me that from the get-go, all these people in this convent are devious, savage, and they're going to be demonic. They're going to be sadists. And because of that, there was no surprise.
Yeah. Right. Okay, then.
So that's my take.
See you next week, then.
Bye. I actually did think, when I was thinking about how to explain this film, I thought this is going to be a short one, because that is, but then there are virtues in this film, and it is beautifully shot. There are a lot of interesting deaths.
Yeah, I think Sydney Sweeney is acting her socks off.
She is.
She believes in it, and she is trying to...
Yeah.
I wish the film was better for her performance,
Yes, I think she deserved, knowing now that she was a producer, that she actually wanted this to be made, she probably put a lot of trust into this story as well, and maybe she's proud of it. Maybe this is exactly what she wanted to make, but... I need that challenge. I need that feeling that no matter how weird it looks, she's going to be okay, and then have that rug pulled.
Yeah. There's certain elements that I like when people were talking Italian, it wasn't subtitled, things like that.
That's good.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Because she hasn't got a clue what anyone's talking about, so neither should we.
Yeah,
with her
so
on that, and I like things
that
like
worked.
that.
Yes, I like that too, because you just basically go off her look, and that she doesn't understand it. Okay, all right, well, there you go.
Well, that's it again. Her backstory is that the convent that she was at in the States had shut down, lack of interest. So I'll go to Italy.
Now she's entering deep, dark places in the horror movie Immaculate, as an American nun who's having one hell of a time in a remote Italian convent.
I loved it though, because I also love scary nuns. We have one here who wasn't
non-scary.
She wasn't scary. She wasn't scary.
You're not a scary nun. Depends on who you talk to.
But I once walked down a hallway here forgetting she's more like Sister Act nun, not like this type of nun, and I yelped. So this is right up my alley.
Is there a question?
Yeah, no, I'm getting there.
It sort of ate to me when we were watching it, because it was funny. I was watching it with Tracy, and Tracy was getting annoyed with me because I kept going, oh.
Yes. Oh. What's wrong now, Andy?
Oh, and then she's like, what? I'm like, oh, come on. And apart from the ending, which, they go all out at the ending, and
Starry eyes. I thought starry eyes at the ending.
Yeah. But just the brutality of that.
Yes.
You know, is I thought, well done for that.
But that's it. Yeah,
I feel because the rest of the film, like, again, there's so many cliches in it. There's the Frankensteinian mutants in jars and all that, and they've been trying to do this pregnancy thing for a while now, you know. And
yeah, Alien Resurrection. We get to see the first 7 failed.
Yeah. It would have been good if she like got that upset and then just flame throwed in.
Yes,
just goes full Ripley.
But that's
exploded, you know.
We needed Mel Brooks on this picture. That's what we needed. We needed.
It's not a bad film. That's the thing. It's not.
That's
a bad
it.
Film.
It's not
great, and it's just again, it's another.
It was
a million films by numbers, you know. It's
yeah.
It ate to me of studio interference. I think that beginning bit, even though it was tense, and it reminded me a little bit of the beginning to the remake of Invisible Man.
Yeah.
And you know, and I'm more of a fan. Not a fan of in real life, but in a film, I'm a fan of someone trying to get out of a place and be really quiet because I always find it quite tense.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Who doesn't?
I'd have liked it if she'd got away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Without catching her and then breaking her a foot and then burying her alive. I would have liked it if she'd got away, you know?
Yeah, something to kind of change that aspect. Or if she turned around and ripped off one of their heads or something. I don't know. I don't know.
With her bare hands.
With her bare hands. But then that would have been that would be another layer on the movie that was unnecessary but fun.
You know what? You know, I've often thought this. Is, you know, if you would, you know, decapitating people, it's really boring for people who've got bald heads, isn't it? Because the fun part of when you chop someone's head off is holding the head up like that and going,
true.
You can't do that with me who've got a bald head. You can't.
Yeah, so you're safe.
Hands and do that. I'm safe from having my head chopped off because you can't hold my head up. Really, you'd have to hold it with 2 hands. And it's just not quite the same as holding it with 1 hand and screaming in front of a crowd, you know.
Exactly. How didn't Martin Sheen cut off Marlon Brando's head in Apocalypse Now?
Ooh.
And how did he hold his head up? Oh, I'm gonna have to figure that one out.
But you see in all the Viking films, only decapitate someone, they hold the head up and like. Aah!
Yes. Well, maybe maybe Martin Sheen glued a toupee on, and then just waited for it to dry before it came out and held the head up.
Yeah.
So
that's the fun part. It's a fun part of chopping someone's head off.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold by the head. Yeah.
or in The Walking Dead, in the case of The Walking Dead, just ramming it onto a spike and then having them just still be animated on a spike. Nice.
Another thing about the film that was it did the Quiet Place thing of where she's clearly going into labor.
Yes,
but could still be fine. You know, I've witnessed someone give birth. You can't be walking around when that's
it's the whole Prometheus thing. Yeah, after the operation, the whole Quiet Place. Yeah, running around after birth.
Well, it's not just after it. It's while she's about to give birth. She's trying to be quiet and sneak out of going through all those catacombs and that.
That's it. Yeah.
You know she's pregnant, and it's the same thing in the Quiet Place where she gives birth, but somehow still manages to be quiet in that bathtub.
Very much so. Yeah, that's that takes an inhuman skill. I mean, that must be.
Yeah,
it's not. But I don't think that's possible.
But at the very end,
yes,
it just goes really brutal, doesn't it? And I'm like, wow, where she clearly gives birth because she's just that guttural scream that she does is genuinely like heart-wrenching, isn't it? She's absolutely lost it. She's insane at that point.
Yeah.
And she screams, and you just hear a doof on the floor, like, oh, that baby just come out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, well, there's the baby. It's like the way she was. It's like she was having a big turd.
The sound effects guy didn't know what to do. He's like, last minute, what are we gonna do? I don't know. Just drop a melon.
Yeah, that's all you hear. And then And then she just gets the umbilical cord and just gnaws her way through it, doesn't she? And then, so what's the reason of getting her pregnant? What's the reason? What are they trying to do?
Well, you see, I thought about this, and quite clearly, there's a big crossover between this religious community and Comic Con enthusiasts, because they have
I did not think you were going to go here, but let's go for it.
Let's go for it. I mean, it's basically this is the ultimate role play. This is the ultimate cosplay thing, where they have the actual nail that went through the hand of Jesus Christ, which is like having a pair of Hulk fists signed by Stan Lee. The way she reacted to it was the same way that a comic book enthusiast would have actually reacted to the very first edition of Spider-Man comic book signed by Stan Lee. That look, wow! This is like signed by Pontius Pilate. This is amazing. So that's where I did the link, and I kind of thought the whole idea of the cult religious horror films, it's all to do with that geek, putting that geek nature in the hands of all of these fanatics.
Yeah. So this went through Jesus Christ. Wow. That's so cool.
Stan Lee wrote on this comic book with his hand. The whole idea that they then want to role play this whole thing, it's clear. Obviously, somebody and artificially inseminated her. It's that clear.
Yeah.
And we have our usual suspects, of course.
Yeah.
There's creepy man, there's handsome man, and there's really old man.
You just know, that's again the really nice, handsome priest. You just know from the get go. I'm like, oh, he's an asshole.
Of course.
It just, Let's just say it's no Rosemary's Baby, is it?
It's like it doesn't matter what they believe. It doesn't matter the motivation, because as soon as you assign religious fanaticism to their cause, they can do whatever they want. And if they want to kind of choose her to be the next Mary, which, funnily enough, the first girl who actually was buried alive was actually called Sister Mary, which,
Well, what a shame.
They yes.
That would have been perfect.
But Sister Cecilia, you're breaking my
heart. I'm biting my umbilical cord, baby.
Yeah.
Cecilia, I've just given birth.
I'm down on my knees.
It made a plopping sound. Anyway.
It went thud on my knees. I'm begging you, please, to...
So apparently, in the 70s, I think this is based sort of in the 70s, isn't it? They're trying to get
set in the 70s, yeah.
They're trying to go for it's got that sort of vibe to it, hasn't it? And like you say, it's well shot.
Yeah.
Apparently, in the 70s, when the world was going very secular,
yes,
there was certain crazy corners of certain, like the Catholic Church, that were trying to evoke the Antichrist, to bring forth the Antichrist, to then go, look, the Antichrist, God does exist.
Yes.
Try and bring people on board with religion again. Apparently there was some
so there is that
church
that
were trying to do this,
Yeah.
They weren't trying to do this, they were just trying to bring Christ back, but
But for them, I mean, in that case, did they think it was easier to do that than to actually have the Almighty Jesus return as a savior? It's like they obviously didn't know how to do that, but they believed in satanic rituals enough to be able to believe that they could do that instead. Which that doesn't, it's like pick your battles, pick yours carefully.
Yeah, I guess they thought if we bring forth
the fear, give them the fear. Give them the fear.
Well, then Jesus will definitely go, oh, Dad, I'm going to have to go back down.
Look what they've done.
Here we go. Look, I'm doing my arms thing again. Come on.
Exactly. So this is all fiction here. Immaculate is definitely riding that fiction line.
What are you on about? Don't be daft. This was a
true story.
This a documentary.
And
I'm sure all nuns when they bath are like that. I'm sure it's like that with nice lighting. They're combing each other's hair. You can see through the dressing gowns. I'm sure it was all like that. That's what nuns do, isn't it? It's all very sexualized.
It's like I just kind of think that Sister Act is the only movie that actually nailed it. Oh, again with the when it comes to it's like that Sister Act is the only nun movie that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like none of what they were doing. They didn't do anything for the community. They just hide away in this house and just and make their own little. And that's the problem. They don't get out there into the world and share their wonders of their belief system. Which I get that. But that they I don't know. Yeah,
hide away and worship God.
But they're not. This isn't God worship. I mean, there is a positive side to that, which is the moral standing, the community keep to just have a chance of actually having a supportive life. Okay, that's what as a fundamental basis it is about a community. It's about communities, and so every single film that tries to pull in the religious aspect and put it into the horror context, they are so removed and withdrawn and isolated from all of that. So straight away, there's no way you can actually make a horror film like this and not subvert people's expectations and think that they're going in for a this is going to be a good thing. This is going to be a positive thing. And so it's kind of hard to kind of separate the two, because of our constantly being digesting the whole horror aspect of religion constantly in film.
Yeah,
it's so hard to kind of separate the supportive community, the Sister Act mentality, and I don't know. I always kind of wrestle with that aspect that they're just not, that neither message is really helping, but at least the horror aspect is more entertaining.
It is, yeah.
But
it is. So basically, it's all downhill after a smoking nun, is what you're saying.
The smoking. Yeah, once we've got the smoking nun out of the way, yeah, you had me at smoking nun.
You had me at smoking nun. Tagline.
You had me at smoking. So it begs the question, Andy.
Oh God.
This seems like a perfect movie to kind of. I want to hear your side. I want to hear your how you feel. Should this film ever make it into the mainstream, massive blockbuster budget action flick, directed by Michael Bay?
Oh,
what would Michael Bay do?
Michael Bay, right? This is what would have happened. It would have opened in Miami. You see the Miami sign, and the plane flies over the Miami sign, and then you see a quick shot of a woman running through an alleyway, and then you see these gangsters running out after this woman. And then you see this woman again, but the woman's she's dressed as a nun, but it's come apart here, so you can see her breasts while she's running. You see these guys, and the sort of wisecracking guys. So the bad, but you like them because they're funny. That's a Michael Bay thing, isn't it?
Yes.
And then as she runs, she catches some of her clothing on some step ladders or something, and she pulls all the clothes off. So now she's naked. You see, she's completely naked, but pregnant, but not like really pregnant, just slightly pregnant, because like a proper pregnant lady. Yeah. That'd put Michael Bay off. He wouldn't like that.
Yeah. It has to be pregnant enough for it to be further in the future. Okay. It's not going to be happening yet.
Yeah.
Give us a bit. give us a bit more time on this. Yeah.
Yeah,
like a man, typical.
Yeah. And you're not going to make me do the whole film, are you?
No.
And then, like, out the sky, the spaceship comes in.
Yes.
And these aliens with big elbows come out, and they're going, "Oh, we're aliens with big elbows." And then the bad guys are like, "Oh, aliens with big elbows," and they start shooting these aliens with big elbows. But the aliens with big elbows, you kill the bad guys, and they save this woman. And you think, "Oh, she's safe now." And he puts some clothing on her so she doesn't feel too bad. But the clothing's see-through, so you can still see that she's naked. And then you notice, oh, it's Megan Fox. That's Megan Fox. That's the actress Megan Fox who's playing the nun.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the aliens impregnate her.
Again. So she was.
Yeah.
so
she has 2 babies.
Right. So.
One she's about to give birth to in like a few months, but they give her 2 wombs, so she's got 2 wombs.
2 wombs.
And the film's called Immaculate: Miracle in the Wombs. I think I've gone insane.
I think, yeah, Immaculate 2 times 2.
Yeah, because it's Immaculate 2, so it's a sequel to Immaculate.
But
Immaculate 2, but it says like 2 open brackets wombs close brackets Miracle in the Wombs.
Miracle in the Wombs.
Explosions. And Will Smith, who takes a break from slapping people. He's a disgraced army vet who's been discharged because he was too passionate and he killed too many aliens with big elbows. And he got a dishonor because he was cruel to some alien, and he was too busy. He kept slapping people in the face for saying things about his wife. So he's been discharged from the army, but he's the only guy who can fly this certain plane that's been built using UFO technology, because you remember that he used to be an Independence Day actor. So just mix it all up.
Mix it all up, yeah.
And he's got to fly the spaceship to rescue this woman, and she has to give birth to the human baby, but they have to somehow get the second womb out of her body.
Yeah,
that's what Michael Bay would have done.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be like, yeah, it wouldn't be as gross about the birthing thing. You know, one gets birth, but it'll be like it'll be patriotic. It'll be patriotic. It has
at some point
it has to be very patriotic.
But she gives birth onto, it's a bit of a dirty floor, and she's giving birth, so they have to get the only thing they can find, which is an American flag.
American flag to lie on.
She has to give birth onto. She has to lie on the American flag, and she gives birth onto it, and the baby comes out, but there's none of. It's beautiful, and it's like it's all pristine, and she's not even crying.
You've got a missed opportunity, Andy.
Go on.
You've got a human baby and an alien baby, right? The human baby is Danny DeVito, and which one did I just say? The human or the alien?
The human baby.
The human baby is Danny DeVito, and the alien baby is Arnold Schwarzenegger. So you've got twins too, and because it's an alien, Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's like the same film. Again, so you've got twins too, and it just becomes a whole different film, the comedy that I want.
So it could be Immaculate 2, Twins on the Run.
Twins on the Run, as nuns, because they have to get their twins on the run, and then they go to the convent in Italy, and that's when they discover the whole conspiracy, this whole demons conspiracy.
So they get Arnie pregnant, and then it's Junior too as well.
Yes, he goes in. It's like they picked the wrong one because he's the alien, so they messed up. And then that alien comes out, and it's a let's just go there. Let's just say that it's a xenomorph.
Yeah,
and then we've got
men. So Arnie just keeps giving birth to himself.
Yes, even
and it's also men too. So it's Immaculate 2, it's
Twins
2, Junior 2, and Men 2.
And Men Too. So
it's the sequel of all sequels.
It's the sequel of all sequels, and Michael Bay has to, has to keep this all together. Wow.
He's the only guy who can do it.
He's the only man who can do it. Yeah. Wow. That's got to be the most impressive Michael Bay segment we've ever had. But why? Can I ask a question? I do have. There's just one nitpick. Well, not a nitpick.
I don't see how you nitpick anything I just said. That was all perfect.
What's the justification between the aliens having big elbows?
They come from a planet because of the gravity.
Oh yeah,
they're different from ours.
They're dragging their elbows.
So they've got big elbows. So when they come here, their elbows are like this.
Oh, I love it. That's even better.
Because the gravity's different.
That's
science. You can't dispute that.
Science. You can't dispute the science. So Immaculate. Let's talk about science. So yeah.
It's another. Getting back to Immaculate. It's well shot. I think she's great in it. I think she really acts her socks off. She gives it all.
Yeah.
I wish it was a better film. The ending, I don't think it quite deserved the ending it got, because I like the ending because it was a bit shocking, and she looks right in the camera, doesn't she, when she's screaming, and it's sort of it doesn't break the fourth wall per se, but there's something about her looking into the camera.
That you're automatically pulled back into the film just for that ending, and I think that's what it is. I mean, you kind of feel, no, I'll leave you to it, but when you need me at that scream, I'll be there.
Yeah.
That kind of a feeling. It's Oh, by the way, there is going to be a Twins 2, and it's called Triplets, and there's going to be is it Eddie Murphy is going to be the other long lost twin? Is that what they're doing?
They're not. I've heard rumblings of a new Twins film. Are they actually making it?
Yeah, Triplets. It says it's a sequel. When I go onto the Google page, it says sequel, Triplets. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah, it's an actual thing that you can click on that says it exists.
Wow.
Oh, but Tracy Morgan's in it as well, so he could be a twin, or I don't know, could be the dad. I don't know. But it says director Ivan Reitman, but he died in 2022.
Yeah.
So I'm calling bullshit on this one.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe there was rumblings. Yeah, Triplets.
Yeah, maybe this was old news and it just never actually came out. But yeah, there you go.
Triplets. I don't want them to make that film.
No, I don't. They don't need to make this film. This is purely just a money spinner, just to kind of get people. I mean, it's not necessary. I mean, we ought to do a whole show, a whole podcast on sequels that didn't need to happen, and that could be quite a big scope. That'll be a double episode.
Yeah,
that'll be a double. It's a double episode. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, funny stuff.
Yeah. We have to do a sequel to the sequel episode.
A sequel to the sequel episode. And then delete it because it should never have existed. Yeah, that'll be it.
Yeah, so we'll do a really good podcast, and then the next one we do can't be as good as the one we did the week before.
Yes! Oh, that sounds like a really good challenge. Let's just completely mess it up, walk out the shot, just phone it in, put the cats in front of the screen for a bit. And yeah.
It conjures a good question, though. When, a great film comes out and then they make a sequel and it's not as good as the first, does it tarnish the first film? Or can you just step away from it and go, well, the first film exists?
The first film exists.
We have Aeroplane, and then we have Aeroplane the sequel.
Yeah.
What both are really funny. Second one, not quite as funny as the first one, even though it has a great gag in it, which I love, with Shatner.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we're learning to kind of separate ourselves more and not get angry. I mean, okay, the Star Trek reimagined films exist with a completely different cast. Fine, that exists. They called it the Kelvin timeline because they didn't want Star Trek fans to hate them and just say this is a completely different timeline. Okay, fine, they exist.
Yeah, but Spock's in it.
Yeah, but it's just a different alternative reality. So that's fine. But but then you looked at Into Darkness.
But it's not, is it?
It's not fine. It's not fine.
Because Into Darkness, he asks Spock about Khan.
Oh yeah, they do the whole Khan thing, and then they have to do the reversal of having Kirk die. But then, for Spock, they actually had to go for a resurrection cycle, a whole film to actually bring him back from a child. But they use, what a perfect plot. They used the Genesis device to bring Spock back as a child, and he grows up. By the end of the film, he is old Spock again, as normal. But what did they do in Into Darkness? They just cloned his DNA from the transporter, and he was fine.
Yeah, that was it.
And that was the biggest FU I've ever had in the movie, where I just quit them. I think I rage quit that movie.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember initially watching Into Darkness, because I read a lot of reviews, everyone was hating it, and when I sat down, I thought I'll go watch it.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Down, I'm like, I don't hate this. This is all right. Up until that. Like, fuck off, you fucking what? You know what I mean? It was like you say, it was literally just pissing in the face of love.
Well, the whole idea of story, just it's like there are. It's like there should be rules about story. Once you've killed off a character, if he's a human being, he's dead. It's done. Yeah. No, they could have actually just done that, and gone forward without Kirk. Be daring. Try it.
Yeah.
And think about the Star Trek way of bringing them back. Don't just bring them back in the next scene because you want to end the film happy.
Yeah.
And it was literally the next scene. Like,
next scene is fine, and then a few little quips.
So all that crying, all those tears, all that rage, and all that upset. It was just totally wasted. It just wastes your intelligence. It's a waste of time. Never do that. Never ever. Okay, up and coming filmmakers, learn from film and read film. Learn the rules of film, because audiences aren't stupid. But the thing is that audiences are being treated as if they're so stupid these days, and they're not being given the chance to really absorb the film for what it is, for what it could be.
And to me, a lot of the time, it's like the filmmakers are so scared.
Yes.
Push it a bit.
Yeah.
Imagine if Kirk had died at the end of that, and that's it. He's dead. And then everyone would be dying for the third film to say, well, what are they going to do? They're going to carry on without Kirk? Are they going to bring him back somehow? What are they going to do? It would have made so much excitement for the next Star Trek film to come.
Yeah.
If Kirk had died.
Exactly.
Stayed dead.
And then maybe just have his body's been removed, and then they're all going to think that he's going to come back. But no, maybe something else happens, and it's not Kirk, and that just let it not be Kirk. Let it be Mecha Kirk. Somebody just steals his body and eats it. Let's just have him, a whole film where an actual cannibal ritual. They try to bring his body back to his family, and just push it. Do something that you don't expect. Yeah. There are cannibals in the Star Trek universe. There has to be.
Yeah.
Let it happen.
Or maybe Spock finds a nail that was used to hammer Christ onto the cross, and he uses the DNA to impregnate
Uhura.
Yeah, Uhura gives birth to,
because she's woman and she's available. She's on the cast list. So
yeah.
Sorry.
And then she just gives birth to Christ, but Christ looks exactly like Kirk.
Yes, but they give him a different name because they can't call him Kirk.
Can we call him Mecha Kirk? I like that you said Mecha that. Like Godzilla.
Yes, exactly. I mean, why not just throw the gauntlet down and just go there and be brave about not bringing people back the way they were. Bring them back different. If this is like an alternative cut timeline, they could have had a completely different way forward just for that last film. Just do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Just take it somewhere else. So yeah. So there we go, Immaculate.
Immaculate. Immaculate with a Star Trek rant.
With a Star Trek rant, and yeah, wow, that yeah.
Another important point before we end this, it's not scary.
Oh no, it's not scary.
No, it's not at all. Now I've recently watched Late Night with the Devil, which I think you would love.
I think so.
It's absolutely your kind. Great performances, really good. There's a big controversial about AI being used in parts of it, but also didn't find it scary.
Didn't find that scary, but you love the film.
Really enjoyed the film. If
it holds itself together, it doesn't have to always just be about the scariness. It can just be about the it's like Ghost. It seems to be a little bit like Ghostwatch. That whole is it real or is it not real kind of aspect, knowing that it's fiction, but kind of imagining this as a real scenario. So yeah, I'm looking forward to watching.
Yeah, it's a very good comparison piece to
Network,
Ghostwatch,
and Network.
Ghostwatch and Network. Yeah, not as good as either of them. It's not as good as Ghostwatch. Because Ghostwatch is genuinely scary.
It is actually scary.
They do the Enfield Poltergeist type thing really well, and so it's good word. I found it really good. I really enjoyed it. Again, they have to go full out towards the end. They have to go nuts.
It's a chicken Big Mac, dude. It's a chicken Big Mac world.
It is.
Yeah.
And then if you get the triple chicken Big Mac, they call it a triplet. Like that film that never got made. Apparently Schwarzenegger on his twin sequel Triplets, Jason Reitman fucked it up. That's what you said.
Did he? Ah.
Is it by dying? Don't know. There are some triplets that won't get born. The sequel to 1988's Twin Star and Danny DeVito, blah, 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 announced in 2021 is now dead. Director Ivan Reitman was set to return, and Tracy Morgan was going to play a new third member of the Unlikely Brotherhood. But then Reitman died, and according to Arnold Schwarzenegger, his son Jason Reitman
fucked it up.
Killed the project. Jason Reitman fucked it up.
So they're using infant mortality as a way of writing an article. It's hilarious.
Yeah, this is on Vulture. This what an apt title, Vulture. Jason Reitman literally stopped the project when his father died. His father wanted to do it really badly. I wanted to do it really badly.
He did. He probably did make it really badly.
Let me read. I'm going to write it.
Sorry.
This is apparently an actual quote.
Go.
Jason Reitman literally stopped the project when his father died. His father wanted to do it really badly. I wanted to do it really badly. Danny DeVito wanted to do it really badly. We had the financing. When his father passed away, Jason says, I never liked the idea and put a hold on it. I'm developing another movie with Danny. He's so much fun to work with and so talented. That was the end of the quote. We don't know yet what the new Schwartzy X DeVito project will look like, but we do think DeVito could pull off a killer Lady Macbeth. Just saying.
Oh my god.
Imagine DeVito being Lady Macbeth.
Do you know what? This is hilarious. It's Get Shorty.
The dagger I see before me.
This is like a Get Shorty sequel to me.
It really, yeah.
Because it's Martin Weir. It's the Martin Weir, Danny DeVito playing Napoleon. Now he wants to do Lady Macbeth. That would be a funny film. If that was, I'm sorry, but when you've got three people saying they really want to do it badly, well, it was mission accomplished. It's done very badly.
Yeah.
But yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger's not going to care. He's got his donkeys. Has he got donkeys? He's got animals living with him. He's like Mr. He is the personification of Dr. Dolittle.
He really is.
I'm sitting here feeding the horse at my kitchen table.
He must feed like the horse like an ice cream. Go, eat it, Jenny.
God,
all his animals.
Ice cream.
Ice cream, Jenny. Eat it, Jenny. I want to save you, Jenny.
Go against it. You're getting in the way, Claudius. Claudius is in the way. You'll get your food later.
Do you reckon, like all the rooms he walks into, he'll open a door and it'll trigger like a quote from one of his films. Walk to the bathroom, get to the job. You know, it's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah, flush. He flushes the toilet. You've just been erased. So, Andy, what do we want to talk about next week? Oh, we've got a plan, haven't we? Because tomorrow is Alien Day. We wanted to do Covenant, but then we thought let's save Covenant because we haven't spoken. We haven't talked about Covenant, so we're going to leave that for Romulus when Romulus comes out in August. So then I said,
does that mean we're going to speak about Covenant and Romulus? Yeah,
together. We'll have like a
That'll be a bumper episode.
It will be because we had 2 bumper episodes when we discussed the Alien franchise. We discussed Aliens and Alien 3, and then we talked about the rest that came out up to Prometheus. And that's as far as we went because
people are dying. They want us to finish it.
They need us to know what our thoughts are. And I think I'm going to also rewatch Requiem because I really, really want to find a movie in there. I really want to find it. I want to know that it's there, but it's not. But yeah, so instead, what we were going to do is talk about the films that look like they are in the Alien universe. Silent Running,
brilliant,
and Outland with Sean Connery. That both of those stand out as the strongest suitors for actually existing in the universe. And of course, Dark Star, which was the inspiration for Aliens.
Yeah.
So if we can probably just kind of hit upon those 3 wonderful gems next week, hopefully, if we have time to fit them all in.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the week after, let's do Late Night with the Devil.
Yep.
And linking it with Network.
Yes, linking it with Network. And we actually had a fan recommendation for us to watch. This might take a little bit more time, so this will be probably a good idea for a little bit later. Have you ever heard of the foreign film, surrealist fantasy? I think it's French. Hang on. Yes, it's French. Holy Motors.
No.
Exactly. This was a recommendation. It is a surreal fantasy drama film about a man who goes through a secret door in his apartment, and he wanders into a movie theater full of sleeping patrons, and then he moves through different doors and he plays different people. And his experience is like an anthology film, but he is leading you through it. This kind of a weird, surreal film. It's French. It's called Holy Motors. That's Holy Motors. I mean, what a title!
Cool.
Holy Motors.
Wow.
But get this. I mean, Denis Lavant is the French actor who kind of takes you through on this journey. But it's also got Eva Mendes in it.
Wow.
And Kylie Minogue.
What the?
I know. It's like they had a French movie, surrealist film, and they thought let's just put a load of actors into a hat and then just pull out the first 2 names that come out.
Holy Motors, there it is.
Holy Motors. But we need to.
2012.
Exactly. We must have just completely missed this. But
so it's a French film, but is it in English?
Must be. There must be something to it, but I've only just been told about this last night about 1:15 in the morning. So
who's recommended this?
My friend who I stream with, gaming with stats friend, Stephen, another Stephen, Roger, and he's been an enthusiast about listening to our podcast as well. He is one of our fans. So he does watch and listen to us. So he's recommended this.
All right, I'm really looking forward to watching this. It's totally something I'd love.
No, it looks exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm reading some of these reviews here now. Holy Motors, a bizarre and highly praised film that is ambitious and inventive to the point of pain. I wish it was as brilliant as it intends. Pretentious nonsense. Holy moly, WTF? It's art. It's art. It's art.
And I
really
think
want to watch this
exactly.
Great.
So we'll seek it. We'll seek it. We'll find it, and we'll watch it. And we'll put this at the billing after after we've done the other ones. So we've got a fun. At least we've got at least a month of material ahead of us, Andy.
Wow, love it. This is great.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. So yeah. So next week we'll be talking about. What was it?
Silent Running, Outlander, and not Outlander. Outland, sorry.
Outland and Dark Star, and then that will give us plenty of time for us to prepare for the Devil, the Late Night with the Devil episode as well with network.
Yeah.
Because I need to be able to seek those out as well.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, so let's say adieu to the chair.
Yes, goodbye, chair.
Goodbye, chair.
One day I'm going to put something on that and freak you out.
The blue chair. It'll be my teddy bear that's here, and it'll be like, how did it get there? It'll be like, well, with that freaky teddy bear.
Late Night with the Devil. There'd be something on that chair.
Oh,
when we talk about Late Night with the Devil.
But not silent running. No. No.
I might put like a little robot that's doing some gardening.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love it so much. Okay, so
I have to really prepare myself for silent running because the ending devastates me every time. It puts me in an absolute funk. So I'm going to have to really... Maybe when I watch it, I'm going to have to watch it and then watch something else straight after it.
Yeah, Nuns on the Run. Like I did with After Immaculate. I put Nuns on the Run with Robbie Coltrane and Eric Idle, and it cheered me right up.
Right, okay then. I'll do that. Nuns on the Run.
No, actually, to be honest, Dark Star is actually quite a hilarious romp to put on after. But
yeah, I might do that. I'll probably binge them both one after the other.
Binge them both. Okay, right. So we're actually just come over an hour. That's pretty good for us. We're not running away with this too far. So let's stop while we're ahead.
Yeah, because next week's clearly going to be about 4 hours long. So.
Very true. And so please don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. It's free to subscribe on YouTube. We've also got the podcast in many podcast places, popular places where you can find your podcasts in Audible.
Yeah, iTunes.
Yes, Spotify.
Other places as well.
Other places. Do you know what? If you just type in frame by frame, chances are you'll find somebody else who sells picture frames and might even do tiling. You never know.
But if you keep on going down the list of podcasts go frame by frame, eventually you'll find us.
We're there, and it's been a fun ride. Thank you very much, Andy Lewin.
Thank you.
This is
as ever a pleasure.
Yeah, and this is how we end it. We're going to get better at this. We're not going to.
This is the way the podcast ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper.
Yay!
Yay! Apocalyptic poems.
Yay! A haiku.
Very good.
Quit. How do I quit you? There we go.
What?
I feel the need for speed.
Ow!
Charlie, don't surf.
This is fantasy.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Quit griping.
I like griping.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.